All right, looks like we're live. Let me just make sure it's going out okay on the old YouTubes. Luke should be probably joining me shortly. All right, sounds okay. All right, so few things I want to talk about. I don't think I'm going to stream for very long tonight. It's already a little later than I tend to start, but obviously the one thing I want to talk about was this is almost unbelievable. So these Antifa scumbags, they get Tucker Carlson's address and they start banging on his door when just his wife is home, demanding, I don't know what the hell they're demanding. I would, to hurt his family or something. And personally, I wish Tucker Carlson would have been home and armed and ventilated the cocksuckers. Thankfully, they are. It is being investigated as a hate crime. I mean, there's really not much more you can say other than if a right-wing group pulled anything like this, they'd be RICO'd out of existence, and half of us right-wingers would be deplatformed off the fucking internet. Something's got to be done. Enough's enough. Enough's enough with this shit.
Indeed.
This is why I'm heavily armed, okay? I know if someone wanted to really play internet fucking detective, they could probably dox me, probably put my fucking full address and all out there. And you know what? And even if they didn't, y'all know I've mentioned what fucking comic book store I go to every Wednesday. If you really wanted to jump me, I guess you could just hang out there all fucking Wednesday. At some point, I'll be there. Hell, I'll make it easy for you. I'll be there between noon and around 2:30. So, but I always, even when I'm going to work, I always at least have a knife on me. Because as Christ himself said, if you don't have your sword, sell your cloak and buy one. So a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. We're going to watch a little trailer now that Luke's here.
Oh, that's what. Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Luke. The film of the year.
Let me see if I can get it. I'll try to get ready. So please set up for the audience, trailer. Please. Let's see.
It's an important film. I think we're all gonna learn a little something just from the trailer, really. Just from the trailer.
Okay. Set up. Their video sound is almost set. Well, anyway, what is the show called exactly? Please, Bechtloff, tell us.
Well, the movie's called Fuck You. Which, coincidentally enough, is what I said when I saw the trailer. I don't even know if we should watch the trailer, because the trailer itself is kind of boring.
Yeah, there's not much to be seen.
Just bring up the window of it. Bring up the page with the fucking window. We might even read the comments. That might be more fucking entertaining.
Let's see when the
I don't want to get a fucking copyright straight up my ass. Speaking of up your ass, the premise of this trailer, the premise of this movie, as you can see, it has a stellar like-to-likeness ratio. The premise of this movie is it's in Sweden, because of course it is. Captain Sweden to the rescue once again. A teenage black girl steals a strap-on. Because of course.
Should I play it?
No, don't play it. Scroll down. Let's read the comments. That's even better.
Or I can see the picture of it.
Yeah, okay. Click on it and pause it. Yeah, okay. So she steals a strap-on and she's showing her girlfriends and they're all laughing and giggling at it, which okay, it's stupid, but it's teenage shenanigans. But no, then like her boyfriend and all them, they show up, and he's like, what? He's the white boy. The white boy is her boyfriend, and you know, she's kind of cute for a black chick. I'm not into black chicks that much myself, but a few of them do it for me, and I'd totally colonize and impress that pussy. But no, she's gonna fucking Zulu his ass is what's gonna happen. Yeah, you see the look on it. It's like this is fucking really degenerate because I'm pretty sure they're all underage. They look very young. This is like degenerate fucking child porn is what this is. I mean, I hate to say child porn because they are teenagers, not children, but they're still underage. Okay, somebody should be going to fucking jail for this shit.
Let's see the comments section.
The comments are
scroll
fan-fucking-tastic.
If they haven't been disabled yet, let's find out.
We live in a society indeed. Let's see. You know what? You should go up a little bit. Get yourself to newest first.
Oh, newest. Okay.
Yeah, like go up.
I'd like to. There we go.
Yeah, sort by newest first. Because a lot of times, you know, when comments get shadow banned, if you go to newest first, you'll see them.
Here we go.
Okay, so did someone fill my water bottle with vodka again? It just had to be stolen as well, didn't it? The Swedish should be wiped from the face of the earth. They are an embarrassment to all humankind. Captain Sweden to the rescue. I said that. I didn't even know that guy said that, but there he goes. A black girl would steal something. I'm just reading comments, YouTube. Hitler or this, it's an easy pick for my NPC friends. Report this degeneracy, get it taken down. Up, you blurred out. Okay, someone clearly didn't learn from the Romans. Sweden is over. Europe is finished. Ha 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 ha. Holy fuck. Let's see. Somebody 0x0. Swedish men have already been bent over and sodomized, and they've chosen it willingly, either by means of democratic elections or by choosing the same suspects. What happens when women get in power? Swedish men are so pathetic. Everyone is laughing at them. Let their country go to shit. What a waste. Swedish culture is disgusting, powerful. 10 out of 10, IGN. I want PewDiePie to react to this. Finally, a movie I can relate to. I hate Jewish people so much. We live in the 21st century at the end of Western civilization. Absolutely Weimar. Is this how symbolic of how immigrants are fucking over the white man? Sweden is so cucked, they've actually made a movie about it. It's like a visual retelling of Sweden's new national anthem.
Oh.
Blacks steal everything, even sex toys. This is so tolerant and diverse. Goodbye racism, goodbye sexism, goodbye white Swedes. We need any more reason to declare Hitler was right. Cringe as fuck. Fuck this stupid movie. Bring back Adolf Hitler. Degeneracy serious deport. We hate you, Sweden. Captain Sweden's origin story. The old memes of Swedes being gay, I guess it was true after all. Disgusting. No, this isn't anywhere near enough to beat Hollywood in degeneracy. It simply won't do. Sweden, yes. LOL. Can we just nuke Sweden already? The Swedes wouldn't open their borders to allow supplies to pass through to the Finns. Think about that. This is the Jewish thing ever. Makes me sick, motherfucker, how far we done fall. This is Swedish culture. Nuked their shit hole of a nation. Absolute disgrace. Comments containing the F word get auto-deleted. Okay. I had noticed that. Our destiny in the stars has been hijacked by communists and sodomites, and we are mad. We are really, really mad. Be careful, Sweden. What it means to be a Swedish man fucked in the ass by a black thief. Well, they are not wrong there. Cringe. This trailer is like taking the cringe, awkward romance part of every movie and making it the entire movie. Twisted, degenerate filth from the mind of a liberal. Sweden, yes. This is so sad. Can we start Ragnarok? If I were Swedish, I'd be ashamed of being Swedish. Gas the Swedes. Wait, is this real? Degenerate trash. Sweden, yes. Get fucked, Sweden. Some of these are in Swedish. I can't read that. I just want this earth to fucking blow up. What the hell happened to the Swedes? So a men from the, I can't. All right, I don't know what. Scroll up. That one's all fucked up. Let's see. Not only was Hitler right, but he wasn't extreme enough. How did the Swedes go from Vikings to this? I have a funny joke for you guys. Sweden. Sweden, what happened to you? Geez, you sick fucks. You really have to complain about power dynamics of sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. For fuck's sake, why do you have to pathologize this? Fucking biology deniers, males releasing. Okay, yeah, okay. The black woman is the epitome of female sensuality and femininity. Let's start by looking at her. You got to click read more on this because we got a Kang over here. I don't know if this is a joke or not, but let's read this Kang post. The black woman is the epitome of female sensuality and femininity. Let's start by looking at her body. Her body is curvaceous. Her voluptuous shape makes her presence known without her even needing to point herself out. She is nubile as a result of the high levels of estrogen. This gives her the appearance of health and fertility. She is then covered by her dark skin. Her darkness reminds us of her hardiness, a feature that developed due to being exposed to the scorching sun of Africa, made to withstand such an extreme condition. It also has a psychological effect on the observer. The darkness reminds us of our dark, deep desire that emerged from our probable subconscious past. The black woman demeanor. Oh, wait, it all got blurry. I can't read it.
I'll zoom in.
De-blur, damn it. But it's still blurry as fuck. Why is it so fucking blurry? Did I go blind? There we go. Now it's kicking in. Okay.
Oh,
what the? No, it's gone now. Okay.
There it goes.
I can read it. The black woman's demeanor is one of alphaness. She is submissive yet assertive and can be explosively emotive. Her demeanor strikes envy into the more timid, prudish races of women, white bitches. The summit of expression of her God, I can barely do this. Of her femininity on her body is her bunda. The black bunda is the largest of all the races. The bunda is the penultimate symbol of womanhood. This alone would suffice to make the black woman the most feminine of women. The large bunda is able to fulfill the desire of the neediest of white men, being able to more than take all the length of the big white uncircumcised phallus. Its strength ensures that when she orgasms, the potent African contractions will immediately draw in the seed of the white BVLL the black woman copulates with. In total, the black woman expresses this femininity in the most exemplary manner in bed. When she fucks, she receives the entirety of the lust and the desire of her white devil without without any restraints, granting the most pleasurable outcome to both parties in the act of coitus. This is why the black woman is the epitome of femininity.
Why is she wearing a strap-on?
I don't know if that's Poe or not. I can't fucking tell here in the current year. What the fuck? Oh my God. I don't know anymore, Luke. I don't know. I shit it for it. Negress butt fuck sissy white boy. Who could have come up with such an idea? 5 out of 5 thumbs up. Degenerate propaganda never stops. I don't think we're gonna top the fucking black woman post, the Kang posting up there. The absolute state of Sweden. Highly I don't want to read another long one. Scroll. I only got so much we was Kangs in me. The absolute state of Sweden. They hate native European peoples. The sooner you accept this, the better. Tumbling down. They could not make it more obvious.
Honestly,
anti-white propaganda.
This is like the opening of a bad porno or something.
Fuck you too. Alice cuts her boyfriend's unit and hot glues it to herself. Then she becomes empowered. She enriches all of Sweden. I wonder who could be behind this. Just wonderful. Sweden is a role. Oh, we got Roosh. All right, Roosh. Roosh says that this is a beautiful, bold, brave, and empowering film because it shows that the only way a Swedish man can understand his Swedishness is through a pink dildo operated by a non-Swedish girl. I hope the amazing message delivered in this, the amazing message delivered by this message will finally eliminate toxic masculinity once and for all. Degenerates like you belong on a cross. Only if that cross is upside down. Push it sideways. Cocked and soy pilled makes me feel true national pride being a Swede. Now, Swedish boy, bend over and enjoy. I noticed she chooses a white penis. Well, it was more pink, but okay. Fucking report it, this degeneracy.
Let's see. Go down a little more. Come on, mouse.
These are great. Sweden, yes. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Die. I am Swede and proud of living in the most progressive country in the world. Kill yourself, you low IQ racist.
Yeah, so I don't think tolerant. That's how it works.
I'm not sure if it's poet or not. Who could fucking tell? What the fuck you doing to me, Pole? Sweden, yes. The end of it.
I think it's almost the no, not the end of it. Still more to go.
I'm sure this is getting a lot of comments. NPC 1488 says degenerates. So brave. How truly artistic and brave. The state of modern Sweden. Disgusting. Yes, Queen Slay. Revolting. So brave and hip of the filmmakers. You know, that's the real thing.
I think I hit the bottom. I think I just hit the bottom.
Okay, that's the real thing. That's just fucking pathetic.
Well, this is certainly interesting.
The people that made this, they think they're being edgy. They think, oh, look what we're doing. We're making trouble for the establishment.
I haven't seen this kind of premature hype since Brokeback Mountain.
I think Brokeback Mountain might actually be less gay than what we just saw.
Just on the quality of this film, you just know there's going to be some borderline skirting the edges of what nudity can be on the screen. You just know it.
This is a softcore porno for dudes that like buggered by a rubber dildo is what this is. I mean, it's the 9.5 weeks of being buggered by a rubber dildo. Oh man. Well, now that we all know what movie we can't wait to see. Not since Ghostbusters.
Is he smiling.
I guess he wants to get buggered by a rubber dildo. All right. I don't know why I'm saying buggered either. What have you done to me, British James? You're a bad influence. He's probably smiling because of that awkward smile of like, I have to break up with this crazy bitch. She's walking around in public with a strap-on on.
Who does that? Who just what kind of girl just pulls out a dildo and shows off to her friends in public?
I don't know. Like they're out in the woods or something. It looks like. I guess I can understand. Like, okay, she found it, and her girlfriends are giggling at it or something. Because women are giggling idiots half the fucking time. Especially teenage girls. They make like adult women seem reasonable. But then she's like staring at her boyfriend like, you gonna get it. And then he's like smiling. No, it doesn't fucking happen.
Like she looks down at it for a second, looks at him for a second. Oh, the subtlety of it all.
Yeah, the subtlety. That's not exactly the word I'd use. Um,
Uh,
I don't even what the fuck else? What else was I going to talk about? There was other shit I wanted to talk about other than it's just not since Ghostbusters 2016 have I been more excited to not see a movie.
of
Like
course,
if this ever makes it to American theaters, I can't wait to go up to the counter and buy 0 tickets. I'll be like, sweetie, could you charge $0.00 so it shows up on my bank statement? I want to get it framed. Wow. That's the kind of thing you're like, oh, what the? There was like other shit I wanted to talk about tonight if I was going to go on the air, and it's like, what the fuck? What do you even? The strap on the movie.
let's see. In lighter news, Ruth Bader Ginsburg apparently has fallen and broken 3 of her ribs.
And, did you see the tweet Herman Cain had? This was fucking hilarious. Because it starts off sounding like he's kind of being like a conservative. Herman Cain has a tweet where he's like, "Come on, people, don't be a ghoul. I wish Ruth Bader Ginsburg a speedy and full recovery, and then that she retires immediately afterwards." Fucking based of that black man. Anyways. Moving on to lighter topics, there was something that I've been thinking about. I've had something odd on my mind lately, and that's been sports video games. I don't know why, but I found myself oddly fascinated by them. Now, I've never been big into sports video games because I'm not particularly big into sports. I know, shocking, right? But I always did have a soft spot for hockey. I always did enjoy hockey. In fact, hockey. I've been to a hockey game before. My dad took me to a hockey game when I was a kid once. We went to go see the Capitals. If memory serves, they were playing Boston, and I believe they did win. Again, a million years ago. It was actually during the Ice Age when we saw this. It was just going on outside. But I always had a soft spot for hockey. I always liked hockey a lot. And I have a bit of a soft spot for basketball just because it's fast paced. I can actually watch it. I've had friends before that were big into it, and I didn't mind watching it with them. You know, there's times I kind of wish I was into football. I think football is boring as fuck. I think it's boring as fuck. I think last time I was on here, I was talking about I'm not even all that impressed with the athletics compared to other sports. You know, I find the athleticism of basketball or hockey or certainly more hardcore things like MMA or boxing far more impressive than I find football. That said, though, there's a part of me that almost wishes I was into it for the simple fact that it's just such a sociable thing. You know, it's even now that the NFL has become so cucked and nobody wants anything to do with it, it's still a huge thing. But it got me thinking about sports video games because I do own a few, actually. I have Blades of Steel for the NES and for the Game Boy. I have NHL Hockey for the Game Gear. I have NHL 97 on the Genesis, and I have NBA Jam Tournament Edition on a Super Nintendo. Those are my sport. I think I might have like a Mario Tennis or something somewhere. Like I might have some of those, but I mean, it was like what you'd think of as sports games. I have a few. Those are the ones I have. And I was kind of thinking about how rarely I see anyone review them on YouTube because I watch a lot of game channels. And the only one I know of that really reviews them is a channel called SNES Drunk. He's reviewed quite a few old sports games. And Pro Jarrett, I think last year for April Fool's Day, he did a review of Madden, I think it was. Maybe it was 2 years ago for April Fool's Day. But he reviewed the new Madden game, and he reviewed it as though it was a turn-based RPG. and he didn't even know what football was, and it was kind of funny. But like you never see anybody do. You never see a lot of real reviews of it. Again, there's certain stuff like that has a cult following, like NBA Jam, for example, the NHL games on the Genesis, to a lesser extent the Super Nintendo, although the Genesis versions were better, and also the like Tecmo Bowl on the NES still has a huge cult following. You'll see reviews of those among the retro guys, but like you don't really see reviews of old or new sports games that much in general. Like even the new ones. I mean, yeah, you'll see like IGN will review the new FIFA, the new Madden, whatever, but like no more indie reviewers do it, that aren't tied to the big sites. And yet it's this huge portion of the video game industry. I mean, Madden's usually the top selling game, or one of the top selling games of the year, like each year. So it's just kind of weird to me that they're like Madden. Take Madden. Let's just take Madden. Here's a game series that's been going on since 1988. At least when I looked it up earlier today. With pretty much, as I understand it, an annual release for at least most of that. At least since 2000, it's been a complete annual release. And no one talks about it. No one says a thing about it. Now, the new Madden comes out, and it sells like a candy-coated AIDS cure. It just fucking prints money, but no one reviews it. No one talks about it on YouTube. Yeah, I even looked up on YouTube. I was like, did anybody ever, do a retrospective of the Madden series? Couldn't find anything. I found one thing that was like the history of Madden 1988 to 2018, and it was just little clips from each game. It wasn't even a voiceover. No one reviewing it, no one looking into it. And now you could say, well, Madden games don't change much from one year to another. Well, that's true. But I mean, what were there, like 45 fucking different versions of Street Fighter 2 during the 16-bit era? and you can go on the channels and see somebody meticulously combing through the differences of every last one of them. There's a channel called Console Wars I really like, and they'll go through the differences between a Genesis and a Super Nintendo game, and sometimes the differences are insanely fucking minor. So I would think for somebody that's into Madden, it would make an interesting thing to like study how this game series has slowly evolved. Because, there's not a lot of leaps until at least from, maybe when it goes to a next console, you see a big difference. But from one year to another, there's probably not much difference. But I'm sure there's some differences beyond just the team roster, beyond just the players and whatnot, update it for the current year. But you never see anybody talk about it. Like, never. Because I was thinking to myself, maybe I'll get myself a more modern NHL game. I got 97, on the Genesis, and that's fun on the bun. But maybe I'll check out one of the more modern ones, And I thought, well, the only real modern system I have, I mean, obviously I have a Switch, but I don't even know if the sports games make their way to the Switch. But I thought, sports games used are dirt cheap, so I bet you I could find one on the 360, from a couple years ago, dirt cheap, a 13, a 14, a 15 kind of thing. And then I was like, well, which one should I get? I don't want a bunch of them. I just want one. I'm not likely to play it that much, but it's nice to throw it in once in a while, play a little hockey. And I can't find any fucking reviews on the damn things. I can find gameplay from each one, but I can't find any kind of real reviews. And don't tell me, well, like, I get like, oh, you could say like, well, it's all the dumb dude bros like these games. I wouldn't say dumb is the right word, because like football fans in particular are insanely obsessive. Like, my God, the amount of stats and fucking just bullshit trivia, let's call it what it is, trivia about their fucking hobby that they're able to just memorize is every bit as impressive as any kind of nerd memorizing the minutia of his fucking hobby. And yet again, I see no fucking reviews of these games. Nobody talking about them. The oddball exception, like people still talk about Tecmo Bowl as a cult following. People will bring up again the NHL games, Genesis era. They still have a big cult following. NBA Jam, obviously. Anybody my age remembers NBA Jam. Blades of Steel, stuff like that. But for the most part, never seen anyone talking about them. And I wonder why that is. Razorfist did a fucking review of one of the recent baseball games. That's an exception to that I've seen. Well, for the most part, man, never talked about.
Well, are they particularly popular? I mean, I know they're popular to their particular demographic, but sports games don't really have the mass appeal that famous video games tend to have.
Well, again, I mean, Madden is, one of the top selling games of the year. Like every year. Okay. Madden sells like candy coated AIDS cure. FIFA sells really good. Probably not that much in America, although maybe a bit more in America here that now that America is becoming a lot less American. The NHL games, they sell okay. The baseball games, they sell okay. I mean, they all do fine. Somebody says golf on the NES. Yeah, I do remember golf. In fact, I've seen a few reviews of that, but usually you see reviews of golf because somebody's going through all the NES black box games. Or the NES golf, I should say. There are a bunch of other golf games. I mean, and obviously there's the Mario sports games, goofy cartoon sports games like that, Like Ant Dude did a review of all the Mario Sonic Olympic games, it was kind of cool. But I kind of think it would be interesting to see how, because they're generally series that have wrestling. Now WWF and WCW and professional wrestling is a bit of a different creature. I do see a bit more reviews of wrestling games just because, I don't know. I think wrestling has a lot more of a nerd appeal than most mainstream sports. But yeah, I think it would be interesting if somebody did I don't like football at all. I don't like football at all. Fuck football. If I could Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, snap my fingers, and make a bunch of things from the world disappear, football would probably be one of them. Fuck football. But at the same time, if somebody did a review of the entire Madden series, if somebody did something where they talked about how this series evolved, and this is true of almost any of the mainstream sports games, really, I'd be really interested in that just because it's a series that has evolved so gradually over time. I mean, John Madden Football as a game series has evolved almost as gradually as biological fucking life does. And I think it would be interesting to see somebody go through the differences of it, but nobody does. Nobody does. Now, there's also another element where I've noticed far more than any other type of game. Sports games are remarkably disposable. They are purely consumables. If somebody's a Madden fan, he buys the latest Madden as soon as he can. If he has the means, he buys it on fucking opening day. He plays it until he gets bored with it, or the next one comes out. And when the next one comes out, the previous one is persona non grata to him. It does not fucking exist anymore. I never know of Madden fans. I never know of sports games fans who go back and play previous entries. That almost never seems to fucking happen. And yet you'd think it would. I mean, if you're a sports fan, don't you want to reminisce of what the teams were like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? who was on who was the big names back then, that kind of thing. But no, man, they're like it's something about sports fans. It's like they know everything that's going on about the sport right now, but they just even a year ago is the furthest thing from their mind. It seems such an odd mentality. It's one of the ways as a nerd I don't get them. As when I'm into something, I want to go. I want to dig out its. I want to dig through its history. You know. And you don't quite see that as much with the sports fans, it seems. And I could be wrong. This is, I'm not big into this, but that's just what it seems with me. And I know used sports games are worthless. I joked on here, that if I can get myself to actually figure out how to capture footage, I thought it would be funny before a Super Bowl one year to play like Madden 96 or something on the Genesis to predict which team was going to win, and I was joking, like, I could probably get Madden, not one of the Madden games on the Genesis for, less than the cost of a soda at a gas station. If I go into the retro game store and ask them nicely, they might fucking give it to me. And that's kind of why I was thinking maybe I'll get a hockey game from a couple years ago. Cause I mean, it's probably like $5.
I guess that kind of plays to the whole nature of sports in general, because no one's really interested in old sport unless like they're like statisticians or like people who are studying the sport itself. People in general don't care about old sports games; they want the new sports games.
Yeah, nobody. And again, there are some exceptions. You know, Stuff like NBA Jam. Some of the I know for a hockey guy like me, the NHL stuff on the Genesis, that kind of stuff. A few of those have cult followings, Tecmo Bowl famously, that kind of shit. But generally, and again with the hockey thing, fun little trivia. NHL '94 is about when EA got the NHL series really. I don't think it's the first one, but it's the first really, really good one, as it were. And it's so beloved, that game engine they then used for the next years after that when NHL 14 came out a couple years ago, NHL 94 was actually included as a 20th anniversary thing in it. I don't know if you had to unlock it or something, but you could access NHL 94 and play it. So there is a little bit of the nostalgia and retro thing within that community, but I know with the football fans, it just seems like, especially the Madden fans. I know some guys that get themselves a new Madden each year, and the old Madden doesn't fucking exist. There's somebody a video game podcast I listened to. One guy joked, if you how do you put it? If you have games like Shadow of the Colossus or Marvel vs. Capcom 2, those PS2 games on your shelf, it's kind of cool. If you have like Madden 03 or Madden 04 on there, it just looks like something you forgot to throw out after college. So there's definitely not any kind of retro real kind of community with them. In some ways, I feel like there's something about sports games where they sort of reflect all the worst aspects of the video game industry and of gamers. They want the newest, brightest thing. Last week didn't exist, kind of thing. I mean, you see this with a lot of AAA gaming, and I see this with friends of mine who are gamers, where they're so hyped for this latest AAA fucking bore fest, they buy it, they play it for about a week, like it's the greatest thing ever, and then they lose interest and sell it back to GameStop and forget it ever existed. I mean, I see that
in sport games.
Well, I know buddies of mine that did that with Destiny, for example, the first Destiny.
Oh yeah, that was a
success. It was great. We love it. A month later, you guys still playing it? Playing what now? Like it just didn't exist. And sports games they're almost the distilled essence of that,
it's like that joke where it's like having a DVD collection, and it's like there are always those random DVDs you bought a long time ago but didn't bother to return.
Yeah.
Like there are the good movies, and then there's just the shovelware that anyone could have made.
And that's the thing. I mean, if you know someone that's a fan of Madden, when's the last time they've ever, popped in Madden '03 for old time's sakes? Doesn't fucking happen. You know what I mean? Somebody says, I Full Metal American. Everybody gives me shit. I don't name the people in the chat. Most people don't, but all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of shit for it. Chat says, Full Metal American says, I once traded in an old Madden game someone gave me to GameStop along with some other games. And when I checked my receipt, I realized they actually charged me $1 to take it off your. Are you fucking shitting me? They charged you $1 to take the Madden.
Well, that's different.
That's gotta be a shit post. Like I could see them like only giving you like a penny in store credit or something for it, but or just refusing it. I mean, because they're just gonna throw it the fuck away. Yeah, you think ET buried in the desert. I have to wonder how many fucking discs of Madden over the last 15, 20 years have been buried in the damn desert.
They're along the pile with AOL with the floppy disks.
They're about it. They're about as valuable as AOL floppy disks. It's like a brand new car. How quickly it depreciates. Imagine you spend $60 on something, and a month later it would cost you 30. 6 months later it would cost you like 15.
Oof.
A year later it's $1.
I guess that's one of the reasons why I've never actually bought a car at a dealer price. But yeah, it is kind of sad because I'm looking at all the higher graphics. Not this one, but there are a lot of dedication and fidelity to graphics in these sports games. But it's just kind of annoying that they're just shovelware that no one's ever they're only gonna play for a couple of years, like a year, and never play them again.
They really are kind of shovelware. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? They are the most popular and profitable shovelware. And again, I've sort of developed a bit of a soft spot for some sports games. I just last night, I think it was, I was playing or maybe it was 2 nights ago. Right before bed, I was, chilling out, whipping out the old Game Gear, and I was playing NHL hockey on the Game Gear, and it's rough because it's a Game Gear game, but I was having some fucking fun with it, man. Again, NHL '97, I like the Sega Genesis NHL games. I think they hold up to this day. NBA Jam's fun on the button. Now, a lot of that is due to presentation. There's an over the top element to NBA Jam that you can appreciate even if you don't give a fuck about basketball. You can unlock like plays like Bill Clinton and fucking Will Smith and ridiculous shit like that. And the ball bursts into flames if you get 3 fucking shots in a row. It's cool shit like that. Those games are fun to this day, I don't know, man. I find it fascinating. And I'm sure a lot of people, don't care about it. I mean, I get it. A couple years ago, I wouldn't have given a shit about it either. But it's like, if nothing else, step back and realize what a weird corner of the video game industry it is. And it's not some, tiny little niche. It's a huge ass fucking part of the video game industry. Somebody says old sports games may be worthless, but it's nice to get a clean replacement case for real titles. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. You buy yourself a fucking Madden '03 for 50 cents and you fucking throw the game away and get yourself a nice case for maybe a PS2 game you only have the disc for. Somebody says Maddens are such a waste of money. I could build furniture from all the old discs people can't give away. Yeah, and it's so weird because I mean, like, okay, if you like football, now again, I don't like football, but if you like football, I mean, how much different can Madden fucking 15 be, or Madden fucking 16 or 17 be from Madden 19? You know what I mean? You want to spend $60 on you'd think there'd be more football fans that would just stay like a year behind on the Maddens or something, you know what I mean? Just to save like ridiculous money. And maybe there are, I don't know. Again, because nobody fucking talks about it. How can these games sell so much and nobody fucking talks about it? And again, I'm not like Mario sports games, like kind of mascot sports games. People talk about that, but nobody's playing Mario Tennis for the tennis. They're playing it because they like Mario and Mario characters, and it's just funny to watch them play tennis with each other. But it's such a weird corner of the game industry. Because, I mean, like somebody here says, my dad told me a theory where EA Sports is just a money laundering scheme. But again, that's a thing, though. These games fucking sell. Don't kid yourself. Don't think like nobody cares about Madden. Dude, people fucking care about Madden, all right? Madden's a big fucking deal when it comes out. Now, maybe the last 2 years, football isn't quite as popular as it was, but football was the fucking life's blood of this culture. Again, much to my chagrin, I think it's unwatchable as fuck. But let's not kid ourselves sitting here in our nerd bubble, okay? I'm asking you to step outside that for a moment, folks. I know a lot of you consider yourselves gamers and, you sneer at these sports games, and I get it. But step back from that for a moment and realize how ridiculously fucking popular they are. But they're popular in such a weird fucking way. I once described the Harry Potter movies as saying that, like, I enjoyed them when they came out. Like, I watched all the Harry Potter movies in the theater. I never read the book, or the books, I should say. But, it was a big popular thing. I went and I watched the first one in the theater, and I was like, oh, wow, I really liked that. That was fun. Little wizard boy going to save the world. Sure, whatever. And then I watched the next one. I watched the next one. I watched the next one, right? Mm-hmm. When I think back, I can't remember shit about those movies. Like, I can remember the overarching plot, the basic premise. Harry's an orphan. But he's got these magic powers. But he's not like magic powers you learn. It's like some innate X-Men shit where he's like a different race that can just do magic. But he also has to learn magic. Again, the rules of these movies don't make that much fucking sense. Point is, that's the shit I remember. The basic premise. And then I remember he has a whole bunch of adventures I don't fucking remember. And then he fights the dude with no nose. The end. That's the Harry Potter movies, okay? And again, I saw all of them in the theater. Was kind of excited when the new one would come out. I was like, oh, another Harry Potter. Those are always fun movies. And yet I can't remember anything about them. They're so empty and hollow. And it's almost like people enjoy sports games in the same way. Ooh, the new FIFA game is out. And that person couldn't tell you anything about the last one. The last one doesn't even exist in their mind. It's gone. You sold it back to GameStop for a penny, or maybe -$1 from what I'm hearing. Or you threw it out. Who the fuck knows?
It's so weird. Like, Harry Potter has made such a profound impact on the movie world. For some reason, like even someone like me who's more favorable to these bizarre, weird worlds, even I have trouble disassociating between the stories. And I actually read the books. It's like, oh yeah, because
and now in my head, I can't look at Harry Potter without seeing a bunch of shit libs being annoying. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I hear they all are. We know what they become, and like Hollywood just Hollywood being what Hollywood is just makes the whole experience even worse.
But yeah, I remember I watched those movies. I enjoy them. I couldn't tell you shit about them. They were as much disposable entertainment as I've ever enjoyed that I can think of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, because Harry Potter sucks. I that would imply that that there's more substance to it. That's literally, it's like, okay, orphan boy goes to wizard school, has a bunch of fucking adventures I cannot for the life of me remember. I think there was a magic mirror involved in one of them. He like rode a broomstick and did like soccer in the sky or something, and then there was a little gold nugget or something.
Yeah, the
And
problem
then
with
he
these
fought the
movies,
guy with no nose, and the end.
yeah, the problem with these movies is there's just so much magical premises and so much magical things that there's little to no connection to the real world, so it all just kind of blurs into each other. I mean, you
I don't
can
know if
immerse
it's
yourself
even
into
that.
it. You can immerse yourself in it, but you might forget the details along the way.
I don't know if it's even that. I think part of the problem with Harry Potter is just like it's just bad storytelling. Let's just be real. It's a very interesting world. It's just bad storytelling. It's just you set something up and then you don't know what to do with it for like 8 or 9 fucking movies. So a bunch of random, ultimately inconsequential shit happens, and then the big bad guy, you fight him at the end. I hate to quote Movie Bob, because he's a piece of shit and he should die a peasant's death, but he actually had a really good quote where he said you could reboot the Harry Potter movies into like 3 movies and not miss anything important. And like I said, I don't even think they're quote unquote bad movies. I think a bad movie is memorable. And you know what I mean? It's something where you walk away from it at the end of it like, man, fuck that movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But again, these were just it was like the rice of movies. Like people put rice in a meal as a filler, but it doesn't really have much flavor to it. It doesn't really have much in a way of nutritional value. It's just a fucking filler. Okay. It's just something you eat because you're kind of poor and you can't completely fill your plate up with real food. That's what rice is. Okay. And Harry Potter is just the rice of movies. And I guess Madden is just the rice of fucking video games.
When you think about it, like Harry Potter kind of played itself off of the movies as they did in the books, because there's just so much in the books and so much in the movies, because the Harry Potter series are not like typical movies. Like the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy, has basic villains, basic premises with a clear arc and plot, but the whole arc of Harry Potter spans like years and years and years. It's no wonder it
I
blurs
almost
in
feel
your
like Harry
memory.
Potter would have worked better as a TV show. Like each school year being a season of the show.
Yeah.
Like that might actually work better, because then the sort of episodic nature of it wouldn't wouldn't have felt so out of place in a movie series. You know what I mean? Like think back to a TV show you liked. Like let's say you're a Star Trek fan like me. You don't immediately off the top of your head remember every fucking adventure the crew of the Enterprise went on because it's not that important. You just think back to the kind of overarching, developing story that might have been there, especially in something like DS9. But you don't remember every fucking little detail because that's not important. But in a
Especially in the
movie
age of
series, you would think each movie would stand out in your head.
yeah,
And that's
especially in the
just not
stage.
true of Harry Potter. It was a couple of months ago when it really dawned on me, that aspect of Harry Potter, because I don't even watch TV that much anymore. But I'm flipping through the TV and I come across a scene from one of the Harry Potter movies. And I am dumbfounded. I'm looking at it like a fucking Alzheimer's patient, because I'm saying to myself, I know for a fact I've seen each of these movies in the theater. I've seen a couple of them like multiple times. And I swear to Christ, I've never seen this scene. Like, did I go to the bathroom during it or something? What? This isn't ringing a bell at all. I don't know what movie this is. I don't ever remember seeing this scene. Like, I was so dumbfounded by that, because I'm like, I know for a fact I've seen this and I don't remember it at all. I had to have seen it. I saw them all in the fucking theater. Somebody in the chat says, let me see if I can find this here. So what you're saying is that a Full Metal American, I guess, says So what you're saying is that Harry Potter is just Madden for autists. Yes, I am saying that. That is a perfect analogy. But again, that's this weird thing with sports games. And like I said, think about it for a second here. That's the thing I'm asking you. It's like, I get it. Y'all don't like sports games. I don't particularly like them that much either. There's a few I do enjoy, but I'm not about to go pick up the new fucking Madden. I'm not about to go pick up the new fucking FIFA. I'm not about to go pick up the new NHL. I'm not gonna spend $60 on a new NHL game. You fucking kidding me? I'd have to fucking win the lottery before, like, I'd have to win the Powerball before I'm gonna spend money on a new NHL game. And I like hockey, but I am thinking about dropping the $2, $3, $4, $5 necessary for one on my 360. But think about this weird niche that sports games have, because if you just step back, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird corner of the game industry. There are these games that sell like mad, and no one talks about them. No one reviews them. No one, and don't give me the bullshit. Well, you can't review a Madden game because it's not different from last year. Like I said, you go to Console Wars on YouTube, and those two will pick apart a Genesis and a Super Nintendo game that are virtually identical to each other, and they'll fucking find the differences. All right.
Oh wow, is this for real? Warner Brothers wanted to do Harry Potter as anime, but Rowling demanded to be live action.
I couldn't tell you.
But still, football is. I mean, I do want to just agree with the idea that, I mean, I know they go on. I know the Console Wars guys go on that whole every time they compare the new Street Fighter. There's those little details, but Street Fighter is a lot more entertaining just on its premise. I mean,
I agree with you, but that's sort of my. Again, I'm trying to ask everybody to like step back from themselves a bit here, because that's sort of what occurred to me. Like, I agree with you. I don't find football entertaining at all. I'd much rather watch the shitty fucking, Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie than watch a football game. But that's not true of a lot of fucking people out there. So you'd think one of these hyper football fans out there would have done some sort of retrospective on the Madden series or something? Nope. It's just really weird to me.
And that alone would be an interesting subject, watching the transitional technological changes in the game.
I find it fascinating, and I don't even like football, but to see a game series that has gone on for well over 20 years now, and had, as far as I know, an annual release that whole time, that would be just from being a video game guy, I'd be interested in seeing the evolution of it. But nobody does it. Again, there's a little bit of coverage of sports games. Like I said, some of the older cult classics and shit like that. But it just doesn't exist as any kind of real, and don't tell me like, oh well, it just would be too much. You get guys going through like all the Kingdom Hearts games, and they're fucking hour-long reviews of each one because they're going deep into the bullshit lore of it and stuff. You get Spoonie crying about Ultimate Games and shit like that. I mean, don't tell, like, there's got to be somebody who gives a shit about these games. Like I said, it's just this weird disposable entertainment. It's this weird corner of the game industry that no one talks about, no one reviews. Madden fans just buy their new Madden and they play their new Madden, and that's it. I mean, hell, Vox Day is a huge Madden fan. His bio on WorldNet Daily back in the day used to be like, I've been down with Madden since 92 or some gay shit like that. And Vox Day was a huge football fan. This is the funny thing about Vox Day. The last couple of years, when everybody was calling him a cuck for still liking football because it was so fucking paused, he actually would ban commenters on his blog for saying, why are you still watching that pause shit?
Apparently, the only people who have like a retrospective is watchmojo.com, but they make retros about virtually everything.
I searched it tonight and I brought up one video that was like a history of Madden 1988 to 2018. And it was, which I guess that's fucking 30 years. Holy shit. 30 years of Madden, right? But it wasn't like an analysis or anything. It was just like a little clip from each game. Like, you know, spliced together as like a fucking montage. You know, it's a really weird thing when you step back and think about it. You're like, okay, yeah, you don't like football. I don't like football either. Fuck football. You know, I didn't like football before it was un-American communist propaganda. But step back and think that it's just so alien to how a game nerd like me approaches shit. I like all the like I you know if I'm getting into a series, I want to know the ins and outs of it. You know, I recently got into Kirby a couple years ago. Never really played it as a kid, and I just wanted to watch reviews of all the fucking Kirby games. Ant Dude did a really good thing where he reviewed even all the spin-offs, like shit like Kirby Pinball on the fucking Game Boy and shit like that. You know? And I mean, you could be like, well, there's not much to there's not fucking much to Kirby. You know, it's a fucking pink puffball monster that eats other monsters. And then a penguin steals food. I mean, it's just weird shit. It's not like deep lore to Kirby, at least in the games. I think the anime had like all kinds of weird deep lore where Kirby was like a baby god or something. But I mean, in the games, there's not really deep lore. It's just here's a pink puffball monster, and then you know he eats other monsters. There you go. Play the game. Somebody says, did anyone play that Mega Man football game as a kid? No, you mean the Mega Man soccer game? And no, I never got a chance to play it. It's stupid expensive online. But no, it's soccer, Diego. It's not football. It's soccer. Say it with me, soccer. Somebody says, I kind of like football, but it's super paused now, and I can't be bothered to care about another dying medium. The only football game that I liked was Mutant League back in the day, and also had a gory cartoon for a kid show. Yeah, I remember Mutant League Hockey was another thing. I remember that. I always hated when shows on G4 back in the day would devote episodes to sports games. I didn't know they did that back then. Again, like I said, nobody on fucking YouTube seems to do it. Diego says it's football, Bechtloff. Let's be real here. No, it's fucking soccer. Okay? It's fucking soccer. And you know why it's soccer? Because America said so. Okay? Whose fucking flag is on the moon, bitch? All right? It's soccer. Say it with me, Diego. Soccer. Okay. All right. Well, on that lovely international note, I think I might wrap this up. Diego, you're again. Whose fucking flag is on the moon, bitch? All right, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Are we gonna have to fucking have Trump Space Force write "It's soccer, bitch" on the moon? Because he'll do it, that crazy motherfucker. But to answer your question again, no, I have not played Mega Man Soccer. And by the way, soccer in general sucks. Okay, it's just fucking hockey put on slow mode. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, folks. If you enjoyed the content I put out, then why don't you consider throwing some shekels into the old tip jar there. We got the PayPal. You can send a one-time donation of any amount. Could be just $1. Maybe you just feel like throwing me $1. That's appreciated. Could be, I don't know, $1,000. I'd like that. I doubt any you're in the mood to do that, but I wouldn't turn it down. Point is, it could be any amount, and even small amounts are helpful. They add up, folks. You know, how many views is this video going to get? If all you threw me $1, that'd be nice. Also, there's a Patreon where you can become a regular supporter with any amount per month. And again, $1 a month helps. You know, if anything, you know, you want your Patreon pool to be, you know, a mile wide and an inch deep. And also there's the Amazon wish list where you can buy me some of the dumb shit that I like. And all of said dumb shit will be reviewed on one of these streams. And let's see. And you know, you should support this fine program because I'm the one guy out here trying to analyze sports games for you. Nobody else doing it. Actually,
he's got a point.
Tonight I was more analyzing why no one analyzes sports games than analyzing any actual games themselves. That's what we're at. Maybe we'll do another Bechtloff Investigates on why no one reviews sports games. Yeah, that's about all we got for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for listening. Hope you all have a great night. And Bechtloff out.